Hello everyone, this is French. And today we are going to continue with an exercise evaluating cash flow NFT, Kinesis money, using that as a way to basically onboard family members into sound money dependence. The idea of having 100% reliance on yourself, um, financial sovereignty, how to become your own manager, or perhaps a proper word to say, to become your own steward of your affairs. We're going to leverage two different ecosystems, completely separate but mutually complementary to one another. I've already done multiple videos on Kinesis money, helping you understand the benefit of having Kinesis money as part of your alternative form of banking. And we're also going to bring, for one is Kinesis money. It's a global monetary system. The other is your cash flow generating business, how to generate cash flow coming in to support the many needs, and how you can structure the cash flow side of it to fulfill the need for savings, God's money, still depend in some degree or another on government decreed currency for day-to-day needs, and how to take advantage of the inevitable future of currency velocity using crypto as a method of payment, crypto as an edge to not rely on the global banking system. And yeah, so we're going to talk about many of those things. And the way I talk about it is that whether you look at it from a standpoint of a family, my thoughts would be probably be all over the place in purpose, because I don't know if it's structured. Um, I don't know where you may be. So depending on what I'm looking at right now, I'm going to center my focus on that. Let's assume, for instance, you're looking at this thing for the standpoint of being an individual within a family unit. Within the cash flow part of it, of this component, we might be thinking about, within the cash flow component of it, we might be thinking about the family as a unit. In a family, there's a family head, whether it's the mother or father, you know. Within the cash flow part of this presentation, by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm simply educating people about how to structure uh, the current opportunity we have within cash flow NFT to bring in cash flow coming in to get out of debt, meet needs. The holidays coming up, you're going to need additional funds to support gift giving. What would it be like if you could bring home another 500 to 1,000? Do you know that the average family are about a paycheck away from pretty much going under? What would it be like to bring home another thousand? Just $1,000 extra can do wonders for the family. In some cases, it could be a car payment and braces for a family, or an expensive repair that you've been putting off. Guess what? Just like you are looking for an opportunity, everyone you know, in one way or the other, regardless of what they do for a living, I cannot think of a single person in their life who would turn away an additional 5, 10, 50,000 extra in income. And in the good book, it says the more you make, the more also your expenses grow. The more your consumption also grows. Anyways, as I said, uh, if you happen to be like a boomer, you're likely to have millennials in the family, and I'm talking about money. Chances are there will come a time where you're not going to be there anymore, and there will come a time uh, where you have to think about some complex thing, and they are already pretty much predisposed, pre-programmed to understand the technical aspect of it. And since we're talking about financial literacy, financial stewardship, how about bringing in your sons and daughter into this cash flow generating business? In addition to it, when situation happens where you will have to basically share, you know, funds with one another, chances are you're probably using the normal, what people are using, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, or any other, whatever you use in your current particular country. In certain countries, they use, one app does it all. And here in the US, there are multiple ways you can share expenses with people. If you go to dinner, you like to, share the expense. And in cases, you could be sharing the expense where someone requests from you from another typical platform like Venmo that they use. You could be using Kinesis money. You have an account. The mother has a Kinesis account. The father has a Kinesis account. And they both basically use Kinesis instead of another, you know, cheaper alternative or perhaps lower quality alternative that does not embrace the three modalities of money and currency velocity. Um, just so I'm also bringing to you the idea of Kinesis money allow you to leverage God's money, gold and silver, in digital form that can be converted or perhaps redeemed in physical form in multiple vaults around the world. A global ecosystem that is biannually audited, and it allows you to participate in fiat unlimited. You can onboard unlimited fiat and export, meaning out of the Kinesis money system, unlimited fiat. If you're into crypto, Kinesis has a cool wallet, which is a cold wallet called Cool Wallet S that allows you to basically take your crypto offline, off of an exchange, limited to external exposure should there be an issue. In addition to that, Kinesis allow you to now convert your non-yield savings from a traditional bank to a legacy bank to Kinesis money in digital form, provided, of course, you have the minimum 100 grams of gold, 200 ounces of silver, and you can bring fiat or crypto into Kinesis, convert them into digital gold and silver, and convert that into a minting account for velocity. Another fancy word for movement. In other words, you convert all your expenditures from your traditional checking account to the Kinesis money account. In the description of this video, there will be a link to basically give you an overview of how you earn 5 different yield in Kinesis. The mentor's yield allocates 5% of your proportion in the global bonus pool comes back to you. Whatever you do not liquidate after you mint, minimum 100 grams of gold, 200 ounces of silver. This is just a global idea to give you two different ecosystems. One is a monetary system, the other is how to generate the cash flow, have income coming in that does not depend on your energy. You do not have to trade time for it. You can spend time doing whatever you like to do while you accumulate assets that generate cash flow coming in, and then utilize Kinesis money to onboard, import, deposit fiat, convert them into gold, convert them into crypto to do whatever you do for crypto purposes. And at any given time, you can convert crypto back to fiat, gold and silver, digital form back to fiat, and export into your bank account or whatever else you need. In addition to maintain, in addition to convert all your expenses from your minting account, you then create what's called velocity. Anytime you send something, sell something in the Kinesis platform, then you basically engage in activities that produces fees, and that becomes your velocity. When there is movement, sending, selling, exchanging, there is movement, then you participate in velocity. And anything or any month that you do not have velocity, meaning exchange, assets, gold and silver, fiat or crypto for goods and services, then you activate a 15% hold. If each and every one of your family also has your account with Kinesis, then every time they too do activities, send, sell, exchange, then when you have to transfer funds from mother to father, or from father to son, from mother to daughter, or from brother to sister, uncle to niece, each one of you have your own Kinesis account. Instead of, for instance, using Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, any other things like PayPal to transfer funds to one another, the referring person, let's say it's the father, then has a 7.5% first tier for all activity. In other words, you're incentivized then to create a first generation of Kinesis users, because every time they have an activity done in your account that generates a fee, when uncle sends money to sister, or sister, you know, exchange gold to gold to fiat, which creates a fee, and sends funds in crypto, for instance, to brother, that creates a fee because the exchange generates a fee. The parent account, meaning one tier, okay, each and all of those can be one tier. The original person, father, has a Kinesis account and then share with son's daughter, son one, brother, sister, uncle. So now you're not using any other ways to transfer funds to one another when there are issues. They're using Kinesis money. That then creates a family, financially connected community where they have an incentive to communicate, because the one thing that they all have in common, whether they agree with each other or not, due to the fact that they are family members, all of them use money. All of them have some kind of money transfer, money movement, some kind of an exchange. An exigency happens in the family. Guess what? Son, one, needs money from father. Father is at work busy, bank closed at X time. Say for instance, the father is a construction worker, is working on a dangerous area, but he has his phone with him the whole time. Son's one in college, needs money. So father logs into his Kinesis account or send money to son one, or son requested from father using Kinesis money funds to pay the college fees or fund to buy whatever he or she wants for some reason. I'm giving you a very complex, technical money jargon using the family as a unit to bring home the point. That's basically what I'm trying to do. Bring it home because every single one of you can relate to, in a family unit, money transfer from one person to the next. And the platform you use to transfer money back and forth want you to keep using them because they basically are, in a sense, know um, your money behavior, probably selling your data as an income source for their business. Whenever someone provides you a free service, there's always a catch. Anyway, so that's that. So we're talking about the benefits of using Kinesis, and once you actually understand Kinesis money, there's a playlist in my channel for that. There's a playlist for Cashflow NFT for that. I'm basically tying them together in a story format that bringing something that you can relate to, so that when you watch them individually, you can now understand why the two of them are a can be a perfect union. One brings in the cash flow you need on a regular basis passively. The other allow you to leverage money, share it within the family unit, and you get paid in multiple ways in gold and silver for using Kinesis. In regards to cash flow, there is a an immediate commission structure that has a three-tier commission to it. Now, this is not your typical network marketing gig where you have like 10 to 15 def level deep that you gotta keep pumping people into this thing to have cash flow coming in. We're not talking about any outsiders coming in. We're talking about the family unit, the family structure. Each and every single one of you are in one way or the other. The mother find out first about Cashflow NFT, register an account, then talk to the husband about it, then create an account for the husband. Okay, what do we have in cash flow? Well, we have something called share bundle. Share bundle is a share in a cash flow producing business that generate revenue in so many different ways. You purchase one, for instance, Italy share bundle in your husband's account. That purchase, perhaps let me just log in and share with you, or perhaps let me even take a minute to share with you why this is important. Okay, so let's take a look at let's take a look at what we have. But before I do that, I'm going to assume that this is probably the first time you see this opportunity. So let me begin by saying this is not financial advice. I am not providing financial advice. Uh, what you may see or do not see as I show you as results may not work for you, because this is a result of me educating other people, and I'm going to show you how the cash flow is generated. Okay, say for instance, Miracle Cash and More is not a startup, and we started with, first and foremost, um, with regulation. We have licenses in multiple uh, regions where we have physical brick and mortar stores, and it's a very scalable business that is opening in multiple regions in Europe. Okay, so we go talk about that. Starting in 2017, we started with knowing, in fact, that regulation will eventually take part into the crypto space. And to prepare ourselves for success, we realized that, or they not we, the company, the Archon who started the company since the beginning until now, until this year for that matter, basically have been positioning themselves for success in what is inevitable. Crypto is going to be part of our day-to-day lives. So in 2020, they opened the first stores, POS system, meaning that point of sales, ATM, and exchange. And now we're talking about uh, a marketplace for other people can come in and basically build on our ecosystem. So what you're looking at is, you could say, the DNA of our business structure. In the middle, you're looking at the on-call banking switch and many of other services. But what you may be familiar to is point of sale. You go to a store, you purchase something, and a company like First Data, you know, process the payment, the business owner pays a fee, and you get your product, and you don't really know how in the back end how everything comes into place. In crypto space, we have something called KYC, meaning know your customer. In the case of a business, KYB, with regulation and everything else. And everything basically goes into effect with the fact that we have our own reward system, crypto ATMs, fintech services, and the like. So we're a full-fledged technology company that is revolutionized the world of crypto. Okay, the company can make money in so many different ways. For instance, when a customer comes to our first of a kind retail store to do all things in crypto transaction, that's a source of income. Someone can go to a POS, where can go to a business that use a miracle POS system, either online or offline, meaning physical or virtual. Every time a transaction happens through the POS, online or offline, that creates fees. That's cash flow coming in. Someone go to an ATM anytime, 24/7, where they are located, multiple places in multiple regions, that creates fees. While the physical store might be located in a brick and mortar store in a city or multiple cities in different regions in Europe, the online exchange is on 24/7, unless of course they're doing updates. So these are like four different ways that we bring our services to multiple different countries through an ATM, through a retail store, through a point of sale, or an online exchange. So depending on your exposure to knowledge in the crypto space, chances are you've already familiarized yourself with any of those exchanges. Many of them have the same services we do, the first four, except we have our own stable coin and many other services that we provide on the left side where the other exchanges do not have that. More importantly, we're backed by Lloyd's of London and Fireblocks wallet protection. Very important to know that not only do we have insurance, but we have protection against internal, and external threats. So that's that. So now that you have an idea of who we are, what we do, so when someone purchase in Italy share bundle for 2000, for instance, they purchase shares in what's called a master franchise agreement that covers the entire Italy. When we open a store in Italy, if a sale comes from the store, that creates a fee. If the sales come from an ATM, from the POS system, either in our store or another business in the region or in the country is using, or through the online exchange in Italy, then that share bundle rewards the contributor, participant, in quarterly rewards for participating and providing the company with cash flow to open multiple presence, physical presence, the online exchange, deploy POS system, deploy ATM everywhere, and to have an online exchange that is available for the people in that region to do all things crypto using Miracle technology. The node, because we're on our own switch, validates any and all transactions, and that basically uh, rewards us in terms of points. And is is every transaction is processed using the Finnic token as our gas fee to pay for the transaction cost. So the nodes validate all transaction and reward us in Finnic. Finnic is used in addition to acquiring Finnic free from node validation if you own a node. You can also acquire the Finnic itself because it is a standalone. So this provides a standalone opportunity for making additional income by itself. You can acquire the Finnic by itself, which is a transaction token, what's called a proof of transaction token. And if you are a wealthy individual, or perhaps you have a lot of the share bundle nodes in Finnic, chances are you're likely to make uh, a lot of rewards coming in either the share bundle, the node, and Finnic. And for every profit, there's gonna be taxes. And we have a wealth preservation service through a trust you can acquire when you are able to afford it. So if you are able to acquire a node, get as many of it as possible. In terms of Finnic, you can acquire Finnic in two ways. You can acquire it through us right now, pre-listing for a very, very favorable price. Or you can also acquire a node that produces Finnic for you. Protect yourself against not paying too much, although you have to pay your share, but not paying too much through a trust. In addition to having as many of the share bundle that you like. So this is one, an entry level, and this would be an advanced share bundle package um, in in the UK for 20,000. So imagine in any of that, all of that can basically produce non-stop rewards in share bundles as Finnic are being used to process transactions that comes from multiple ways in our ecosystem. And the node produces Finnic in addition to having that yourself. This is all passive coming in. Acquire one, and basically you can say forget about it and structure your family to acquire assets, share bundle, node, Finnic in your family account. In addition to that, if you get to a certain level of cash flow coming in, when it comes to paying in taxes, you like to limit your exposure to that, then it might be beneficial to set up a family trust to limit your exposure to the amount of tax that you have to pay and such. Education and that service is also available to you through the cash flow NFT side of it. Now, within the cash flow is a well, three ways that you can actually leverage your own existing capital We're not talking about bringing external people into the business. Take a look at your family structure and basically structure your family on your first tier. Wife come in, create an account for the husband, purchase Italy Shabandolo under the husband's name, husband's account, which then generate a 10% commission. Now, Italy share bundle is 2,000, so that's an instant $200 for getting an Italy share bundle in the husband's account. Chances are the kids are going to need money from you one way or the other in order to also engage them in financial literacy, financial stewardship as well, since we have to share resources to another. It's not if, it's when. You then plug them in into the cash flow system and set them up in the, under the husband's account, which instantly creates a 10% commission for each Italy you purchase under your, son's daughter, son. In case we have, a family with two sons and a daughter, you know, chances are you have a brother, you have your own kids, so you could see how that can create a network, a family network, where instantly funds, excess funds that are sitting there in the bank account, where the bank is leveraged and not giving you much for it, that funds can be structured into a three-layer system that pays instant commission three ways to benefit the family. And now the family is incentivized to use funds structured in three levels: mother, father, sons, brother, sister, uncle, who in turn can also have their own structure. This is both a coaching, training, and opportunity in itself. So one video provides you with a coaching session, a training session, an opportunity overview session, a money, uh, financial literacy, too much talking about it, how to engage the family to talk about the inevitable. Money will come into the picture as part of the conversation. Question is how it comes, or in what manner talking about money uh, is introduced, especially with holiday coming up, with funds needed to purchase gifts, or funds needed to, between, if you're in the US, Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up, and how would you like to have an additional 500,000, 20,000, 30,000, and some people are very social with lots of friends, you know? Okay, so when you talk about it, so you then use Kinesis money as a way to transfer money to and from, and cash flow NFT to basically bring in the cash flow needed and use a safer money system as Kinesis for your primary source of saving, money movement, bill paying. If you own a business, you can actually use Kinesis merchant account to basically use Kinesis as a way to pay for something. Uh, and then in terms of cash flow, bring the family together using the three-tier commission structure through cash flow. So you, as a Kinesis money holder and a cash flow NFT benefactor, create an account where you bring your son, okay, your sister, your brother, and this is now we're talking about extended family, because each person, you could say, is a node that is connected to other nodes. Each family unit is a sub node. Think about, you live in an island of you, okay? Nearby is a other island called your sister. Your sister probably has child one, child two. No, your sister probably has child one, husband, child two, and cousins. This is an example. So you, Ireland, and surrounded island family member with its own network. Could you start seeing how every time your sister acquired an asset through cash flow, 10% commission comes to you as a benefit, as a person who actually introducing that person to cash flow. We're not talking about outside people, we're talking about family member using the cash flow system to basically integrate the family as a unit. Basically take advantage of the 1, 2, 3 tier commission to use existing funds to tap into cash flow that did not exist in terms of commission. Now, if you are a networker and you understand the power of a three-layer commission structure, generally, the first people you introduce may expose you to other people who have bigger network than you do. Anyways, I don't want to get too excited. So this is an example. You bring your sister. The sister has her own little clan. You know, husband, kid one, kid two, and then a cousin. All right. But by the time it goes to child one, husband, and kid one, we're talking about second layer 4%. And if it goes to the cousin one, there could be multiple cousins. You know, that we're talking now third layer at 3%. Think about it. We have not talked about a single outside person, a single outside contact, not a friend, not a family, not a co-worker, not a person that you work with, not a person you go to church with. We're talking about, I'm being an idealistic, thinking that this is as simple when it comes to a family. We're talking about money. But this time, you're talking about from the standpoint of money to benefit the family structure. Because it's not if there are going to be needs, it's when there is a need, do you have a mechanism in place for the family to benefit, for the family to be empowered, instead of doing holiday season, when the family comes together, you can have cousin one who thinks back, when those two were kids, and one says something to the other that hurts that person's feeling, and that carries on for the next 10, 15 generations. And now you have something constructive to talk about. Hey, you know, who, how's your family doing? Great. The family, uh, you, depending on who you are, happy Kinesis money member, cash flow NFT member, and you begin to see the bigger things, and you begin integrating your family unit. So you bring your brother into this thing, the brother brings his wife, and they happen to have, okay, son one, son two, you know, and the wife bring in brother one, brother two, and now you're talking 10%, 4%, 3%, and then since this has become the fourth level, the commission structure stops right there. All of a sudden, there are reasons to call on your brother's wife, see how she's doing. What can I help you with? Oh, if you want to understand Kinesis, we can help you. If you want to understand cash flow NFT, we can help you. And then every time the wife, who is your brother's, your sister-in-law, who now brings first kid, second kid, now the cousins are more connected, psychologically, because the parents are more in touch. That means they're likely to be a tighter, stronger family unit. And as well, of course, you also tap in your brother, who is a Kinesis member, when a situation happens in the family, whether somebody's graduating, somebody's getting married, somebody, you get a death in the family. Guess what? Everybody needs to chip in you know, to chip in to meet some exigency that you did not plan for or that was not in your calendar. And money has to flow during this difficult time or during this happy time. Anyways, so that is the benefit of using a money movement system, Kinesis, with a cash flow generating system, cash flow NFT. If understood well, the benefit of marrying the two together, you have an unstoppable movement of having additional cash flow coming in, starting with existing funds. And then eventually, if someone owns their own business, they can plug in their business into this structure as well. But I like to consider the family as a unit that can be leveraged for that purpose. So let's take a look at how does, for instance, a business generate cash flow through cash flow NFT passively without interrupting exactly what you're trying to do in terms of your primary business. You can acquire as many shares as possible that pays a quarterly rewards, shares in a country like Italy or UK that pays a quarterly rewards, structure your employee as affiliate members, and your sale brings commissions to a level of 10, 4, 3%. And beyond the commission level, we also have a global bonus pool that pays anywhere from 1 to 50 shares um, for building 3 teams according to a specific dollar value. I've already had multiple videos on that, so I'm not going to talk about that. Okay. In addition to that, you could have as many nodes as possible. Now, a node or your silent employee that never takes a break, that you every day you basically check in with them. How you doing? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, boom, a daily check. And to finish, you basically acquire a lot of it as possible. And from time to time, you might find someone, hey, chances are if you want to better yourself, you want to make additional income passively, you will find people who are in need that you can share this opportunity with, who also wants to make additional passive cash flow. And that could be, you know, customers in your behalf. They're not going to share the affiliate part of it and generate 3 layers, 3 tier uh, commission, but they will be happy shareholder of a share bundle. They will be, they may have the ability to acquire as many nodes as possible and as many Phoenix as possible, and then basically sit and get compensated for their contribution. That's just from a business standpoint of it, multiple ways for doing so. If you run a business, for instance, the average business are not doing well these days, depending on what you do for business. In the case you have a CEO and a business owner, okay, there are a 3 tier commission available through cash flow. So in the case you have, again, business owner or CEO, you have a certain amount of funds available that you like to leverage. Okay, you know, so your sales managers or your biggest producers, depending on what you do. It could be a real estate broker, you could be a mortgage, network. You have your senior sales manager or senior manager, junior manager, managers, and regular employees. In a sense, right there you have the CEO, and then you get one, two, three. So you get any activities that you put in your senior management, sales. In other words, the business create accounts, several accounts, using a sales manager as account reps. So you could consider every sales manager is an independent account rep. So you just need one, two, and three. And underneath that sales manager, you could have multiple junior manager as possible. Okay. Sales manager produces 10%, junior manager produces a 4%. And if you put any kind of managers under your juniors, then that's a three layer for a 3% commission. And you could have that structured so well where every activity that goes here generates a 10% commission. Any activities that goes here is 4% and 3%. Existing sales team, well structured uh, teammates, three instant generation of leverage capital, in addition to the share, the node, Finnick, and you have a business within a business that is generating passive cash flow. So during difficult or down time, you got something that is bringing in the cash flow to support your business. If, of course, you have the ability to see the big picture. Okay, so the share bundles could also be acquired under the business, where the business now gets the quarterly rewards. Okay, your employees are now your affiliates, your existing employees are not your affiliates, and you earn a commission basically to incentivize your existing employees. And anything they do themselves on their own personal account benefit your business that pays you 10 for 3% commission. Now, keep in mind, no one wants to be an employee for life. If they see this thing, it's working out for them, chances are there might be a day that they're no longer an employee for you, but because each one have their own individual accounts, whatever they do is tied to the business as an additional source of income long after the working hours are completed and they are now on their own time. The node, Finnick, can be leveraged as well. Again, this is a training. This is a training, coaching, and an opportunity overview to see the big picture. So there are four types of qual. You could say individuals who participate in our ecosystem, what they do. You can take a look at it from an individual perspective. So an individual as a single person come in with no family, just a single guy, single woman, you know, likes to earn additional passive cash flow, participate in cash flow NFT, acquired Finnick packages, acquired multiple nodes, and maybe occasionally tell a few people. Okay, and if you tell a lot of people and you've got time, then you can participate in a global bonus pool that pays anywhere from 1 to 5, 1 to 50 shares by becoming 1 to 5 stars, and you tied your immediate instant commission 3 degrees of separation, 10%, 4%, 3%. That's in an individual basis, which, by the way, can also happen in the family unit that I just explained to you, where the family, you have unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the first generation, everything that happens in the first generation is 10%. Each unit has also a subunit, and the principal set of subunit pays a 4% commission. So we're talking about, 10%, 4%, and 3% within a family unit using existing family members, using the three-tier commission structure, no outside people. Again, what do we acquire? Share bundles, Finnick nodes, and then the affiliate sales would come from the existing family unit, and commission structure goes anywhere from 10, 4, and 3% to levels. The same thing could happen from the standpoint of a business. The business owner register, the individual business owner register, sign up the business, and basically put the deposit, the investment opportunity, investment capital into the business account, and structure your most motivated, the most ambitious employees as individuals in their own account using the business account to register them. So whatever they do in their own personal time, the business also benefits. Very smart, actually. You are in an organization raising money for anything, CEO or executive member, and you have the CEO, the CFO, the VP, the executive director, senior vice president. You know, all of these people probably are compensated for their time and can also have the structure. That might be a little bit complicated because it depends on the organization. It could be a church, it could be a non-profit that could be using this technique, for instance, to leverage this ecosystem. Okay, so every time someone participates in Kinesis, for instance, every time you share your Kinesis link with someone, there is a referrer's yield that pays in gold and silver, and it's a one tier for 7.5%. So you, the principal in your family, sign up your brother, sister, mother, father, and kids. Each one has their own account. Whenever there are issues, money has to transfer one person to another. Kinesis money is the principal that is used in the family to basically leverage the family network of money or currency velocity, whether it's gold and silver, crypto or fiat. Okay, so that also tie the family into cash flow for the first of all the incredible three-tier commission, 10, 4, 3%, and addition to structure the family in a way where you bring your brother may have his wife, friend, brother has a business, you know, each using Kinesis, and business is using Kinesis, for instance, for the merchant, for paying purposes, and then you get your employee, your most valuable employees, the most productive, also connect them with the business, with the cash flow NFT account as individual, which benefit your primary business. Not only uh, each individual is now an independent cash flow generator, which also brings the business another stream of income during downtime, or still in a way leveraging your high producers who may each have their own network. Each one of them has a family unit. Each one of them are part of an organization outside of work. Each one of them probably donate to an organization one way or the other. I might begin to paint a picture for you as to why this is important. When you get the big picture, you might want to see this video multiple times because this is a training opportunity connecting two ecosystems that does not have anything to do with one another, but that complements. One is a money system, the other is a cash flow generating machine that produces revenue in multiple ways. And when combined together, you become a financially well connected, well balanced person. Okay, so let's say, for instance, um, you bring your father brings uh, a business account, or a brother, sister, cousin. Guess what? Your uncle may have um, kids themselves. They have a wife, kids, cousins, one, cousin, two. I mean, I'm bringing this to you in a oral and visual way for you to see the big picture. So that when you look at this and you look at Kinesis separately, you look at cash NFT separately, and you're like, the light bulb will turn on. It's like finally someone is making sense. By the way, if you're not in either one, the link to register for both will be available in the description of this video. And you can thank me later. Anyways, cash flow can be generated with instant commission paid in a family structure, business structure, or an organizational structure. So, whether you're an individual, you're part of a family, family can be run as a business. You own a business, or you're part of an organization that raises money for something. You can be part of this amazing duo fabulous ecosystem. And I'm going to be the one who introduce you to both and educate you properly about both and help you integrate both for the bigger picture. Anyways, it's been a pleasure making this video training for you. And the goal is to tie two independent ecosystems into one. And once you give each one independently their due diligence and time, you'll eventually see why both of them complement one another. And it's impossible to be in one without being in the other.